Hello and welcome, I'm your code monkey, and if you truly want to learn C#, or really learn anything, you definitely need to put into practice what you're learning. You can't just blindly watch tutorials, you need to actively write some code. I have previously published my complete C# course from beginner to advanced, and over here we're going to apply the skills we learned in the beginner section, we're going to put those skills to the test. So here we're going to build the project FizzBuzz. This is a classic interview project, it's a classic beginner project, and if you understood everything covered in the beginner section of the course, you should be able to easily build this one. Now this video over here, this one contains two lectures. So first is the overview lecture. This is where I talk about what exactly the project is. I talk about what you should build and showcase the final expected completed program. And then the second lecture, so this one over here is the walkthrough lecture. This is where basically I'm going to complete the project step by step so you can see how it's done. However, it is extremely important that you watch just the first lecture, and then you pause, and then you try to actively build that project yourself. Again, this is really crucial. If you want to learn, you have to do this. You have to put into practice to make sure you are really learning. So if you are serious about your own learning journey, then definitely do what I say. Watch the overview lecture, then pause, and then build it yourself. And only afterwards you can watch the walkthrough lecture just to see how I build it. If you make the effort to do that, I guarantee you will gain the skills that you want. And then if you want to continue learning, you can check out the premium version of my C# course. So this one includes a ton of awesome bonuses, including all of the 10 beginner projects. These are quite fun, and again, you're actively supposed to build them, and if you do that, you will ensure you're truly learning. And the course itself also has some really nice bonuses, like other interactive exercises. There are ones for every lecture in the course. These are very much based on the same principle, so it's up to you to apply what you're learning in each lecture. If you pay attention, you should be able to build all of these interactive exercises. In doing so, you will really make sure you are actively learning. Then it also has frequently asked questions, quizzes, and a bunch more awesome bonuses. So check out the premium version of the C# course with the link in the description. And actually right now, since it's summer, because of that, I made a special summer-only bundle containing all my courses. So it contains the premium C# course. It also includes my Ultimate Unity Overview course. So this is where I explain over 70 tools and features that the engine has. You probably don't know a bunch of these. Then it includes my Dots course. Dots is really awesome. It's for writing code that runs literally 200 times faster. This is really impressive. Then it also includes the premium version of my 2 multiplayer courses. So one on making a simple game using either netcode for game objects or netcode for entities. Also includes the premium version of my free Kitchen Chaos course and the multiplayer follow-up, as well as my older but still pretty nice the Builder Defender course. Then it's got my visual scripting course if you want to try that out. And I've even included my upcoming Lunar Lander course. This one will be coming out later this month. And just for fun, I also included all 9 of my own Steam games. So everything here, all of this contains an insane amount of knowledge. If you go through everything in this bundle, I guarantee you won't be able to make pretty much any game you can think of. This summer bundle, this one is only available for a limited time. If you don't have any of my course yet, then this is a great deal, so check it out in the link in the description. Alright, so now let's go ahead and build our nice beginner project. Hello and welcome, I'm your code monkey. So here is the C# beginner project called FizzBuzz. So this is a very popular beginner project. It's especially popular in some interviews, so being able to build this is pretty crucial. And it's also pretty simple, making it a great beginner level project. So your goal is to write some code that loops through the numbers 1 through 100, both of them inclusive, so starting from 1 and ending on exactly 100. Then if the number is divisible by 3, if so you should print Fizz. If it's divisible by 5, you should print Buzz. If it's divisible by both 3 and 5, both of them, you should print FizzBuzz. And on every other case, just print the number. So here is the expected output. For example, starting off with 1, 1 is not divisible by either 3 or 5, so just print the number. Then 2, same thing, not divisible, just a number. Then we get to 3, and 3 is divisible by 3, so instead of printing 3, we print Fizz. Then 4, not divisible. Then 5 is divisible by 5, so we have Buzz. Then 6 is divisible by 3 again, so Fizz. Then 7, 8, 9 is divisible by 3, so that's Fizz. Then we have 10, divisible by 5, so that's Buzz. Then 11, 12 is divisible by 3. And 13, 14, and 15, this one is divisible by both 3 and 5, it's 15. So instead of that, we print FizzBuzz. And then 16, and then just continue all the way up to 100. So that's it, that is really the entire project. You can probably already imagine that in order to make this work, first of all, you're going to need to loop in order to cycle through all the numbers. And then you're going to need to do various ifs in order to test all of these conditions. And let me also give you one hint that is related to mathematics more so than programming. In C#, the percentage sign, that one is the modulo operator. So this is what you use in order to get the remainder of the division. And if you don't know, the remainder of the division is basically the amount that is left over after performing some kind of division computation. So here in this example, 6 modulo 3. In this case, 6 is perfectly divisible by 3, so there's nothing remaining. Whereas if we have 7 modulo 3, then the remaining is going to be 1. That is because in order to divide 7 by 3, the only full division is 6, and then you basically have 1 left over. So you have 1 remaining on division. So basically, using the modulo operator, using that you can easily tell if the number you are cycling through is either 3 or 5 or 3 and 5. Okay, so I've given you that very important hint, and you now know what the program must do. Here in the companion project, you can use the validated testing to help you build this project. If you just hit on play, then you've got the command, so your code is going to be the FizzBuzz. As you write the code and you run this command, you won't be able to see the automated testing working. That will help you see if you're on the right track, and then you can also run the FizzBuzz done command. So here, let's execute FizzBuzz done. And if like this, we basically see the output that you should be getting. So here it cycles through every number from 1 to 100, and again, does the whole division in order to find out which ones are Fizz, which ones are Buzz, which ones are the number. And at the end, yep, here we have all the testing. In this case, this is the one that is done, so yep, all the tests work successfully. So as you build your own FizzBuzz, you won't be able to see if your tests are passing successfully or not, and the goal is to make them all correct. Alright, so now is the time for you to go build this project. You can build it inside the companion project right here. If you do that, you can use this automated testing in order to validate that you're doing everything right. And then after you made it yourself, after that, you can then watch the next lecture where I will walk you through step by step on how to build this project. But I highly recommend you first make this project yourself, or at least attempt it. And only after either you finish it or you get really stuck, only after that should you actually see my solution. Remember how you only learn by doing? So don't cheat yourself and just look at the FizzBuzz done script. If you cheat, you're really just cheating yourself. So do try to build this project yourself. Again, you will learn by doing, so I want you to put into practice what you're learning in this course. And then, after that, then you can watch the walkthrough lecture just to see how I did it. Alright, so go ahead, pause this video, and go build that project. Hello and welcome, I'm your code monkey. Okay, so here let's see how to solve the FizzBuzz challenge. Let's review our goal. So these are the rules for this game, this is what we must do. So loop through the numbers 1 through 100, then just check if they are divisible by something. So if divisible by 3, print Fizz, if by 5, Buzz, if by both 3 and 5, print FizzBuzz, and everything else, print the number. So yep, our code should go through all the numbers from 1 to 100, and then either print a number, or print either Fizz, or print either Buzz, or print FizzBuzz. So yep, let's build this. Here I've got the FizzBuzz script. Now first of all, we need to cycle through those numbers 1 through 100. And the way we do that is quite simple, just like we'll learn on the loops lecture. So in C# we have various loops that we can use. We can use a for, we can use a for each, we can use a while, or we can use a do while. Any of those loops can work in order to solve this challenge. So you can use whichever one you prefer, but over here the goal is to have both a fixed start and end point. So for this, usually a normal for is going to be the easiest. So in this case, let's use a for. And then first of all, we start off by defining our iterator variable. So int I equals something. And the goal is to loop through the numbers between 1 and 100. So let's start off as 1. And here I, that's really just a name that we usually give for the iterator variable, but it can be whatever name you want. So it can be I, it can be number, it can be literally anything, but usually it's I. Then we want to loop from 1 to 100, and 100 is inclusive. So let's do I under or equal to 100. It needs the equals because if we don't have this, then as soon as I reaches 100, 100 is no longer under 100. So that is basically going to skip that one, whereas we do want to include it. So if we do it like this, it's only going to loop between 1 and 99, but we want to include 100, so let's do an equals. And then another semicolon, and finally we have the incrementer, so let's just do I++, just like this. Okay, yep, so like this, we should be looping through the numbers 1 through 100. Let's do a console.writeLine in order to print out this. Let's just print out number like this and see if it is looping between 1 and 100. Okay, so yep, let's save it. Let's wait for it to compile. Now let's run it. And okay, let's run our code. So the FizzBuzz, let's run this one. And okay, starting the FizzBuzz, and it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yep, it is indeed cycling through every single number between 1 and 100. So let's see if it does indeed stop exactly at 100. And if there you go, it did stop at 100 instead of just 99. So yep, it is correct. And here for the test, the first few tests already passed, so we should have 100 prints. And yep, we do have that. Then checking the number 1, that one should be 1. Yep, that is correct. And now we just need to implement the actual FizzBuzz logic. So how do we do that? First, let's start off simple. First, let's handle just the fizz, meaning if it is divisible by 3. And again, to solve this, we're going to use the hint here. We're going to use the modulo operator in order to check out if the number that we are cycling through is divisible by 3 or not. Basically, if the modulo returns 0, then we know it is divisible. So over here, 3 modulo 3 won't be 0, 6 modulo 3 won't be 0, 9 modulo 3 won't be 0, and so on. So by using the modulo, we can see if it is divisible. So over here, if I modulo of 3, if that one equals 0, then this number I is divisible by 3. And if it is, then we want to print fizz. So console.writeLine, let's do writeLine, say fizz, just like that. And if not, then we print the I. Okay, so let's run and see if this one is correct. So let's save it. And okay, let's run FizzBuzz like that. So it's starting 1, 2, and there you go, we've got a fizz. So that one is indeed correct. So here for our test, yep, got 100 prints, got 1, checking value number 3, expected fizz, and got fizz. Okay, great. Now let's end the buzz. So we check if it is divisible by 3. Okay, great. Now let's check if it is divisible by 5. So that is going to be very much the same thing. So if I modulo of 5 equals 0, if so, then this number I is divisible by 5. And if so, we want to print buzz. So console.writeLine, let's print out buzz like this. And if it is not divisible by 3 or 5, let's just print out the number. Okay, let's see if this one works. Okay, let's run FizzBuzz. So 1, 2, 3, and if there you go, we already saw the buzz there. So 1, 2, fizz, 4, then 5 is divided by 5, so that's buzz. Then 6 divisible by 3, fizz, and so on. So yep, all of these are correct. So if we check our tests, we got 100, 1, we got fizz, we got buzz, so all that is correct. The only thing missing is this one over here, the FizzBuzz. And this is where this problem becomes interesting. Because over here we are testing if the number is divisible by 3, if so we go here. If not, then we check if it is divisible by 5, and if so, we go here. But now we want to check for both these. And if over here we were to write if I divisible by 5 equals 0, and I divisible by 3 equals 0 as well, if so, then console.writeLine, FizzBuzz. Except, like this, it won't actually work. We can try it out just to see. Okay, so here are the tests, and as we check for value 15, expected FizzBuzz, but we got just fizz. So yep, that one is incorrect. This code over here does not work. And the reason why it doesn't work is because basically we only go inside the else's if this if is not true. So then within this else, over here, it is not possible for I to be divisible by 3, because over here we already checked that one is not the case. This is something you always need to be careful with when doing multiple nested if blocks. You need to make sure that the inner nests, that this one do not have conditions that are basically impossible by the outside conditions. And in general, if you want to chain multiple ifs, if so, then you should do it from less specific to more specific. So instead of first checking if it is divisible by 3, first we should check the most specific condition, which is going to be this one, divisible by 3 and 5. So first we should actually check that one. Is divisible by both them? If so, great, we print FizzBuzz. If not, then let's check is divisible by 3. If so, we print fizz. If it's just 5, then print buzz. And if not, then we print the console.writeLine. So yep, like this, now it should be working. We first check for FizzBuzz, then we check for divisible just by 3, then just by 5. And if neither of those, then we just print the number. So yep, like this, let's save and test. Okay, here we are, let's run FizzBuzz. And we are starting 1, 2, FizzBuzz. And there you go, we got a FizzBuzz right there. And it just continues. And for everyone that is divisible by 3, printing fizz, buzz, and then FizzBuzz. And if we check all the tests correct, and yep, there you go, we've got all correct. So first 100 prints, got it, then checking value number 1, should be 1, got it, then 3 should be fizz, correct, 5 should be buzz, correct, 15 should be FizzBuzz, correct, and then at 100 should just be buzz. So yep, all correct, awesome. So here we have this project completed. It's really just a simple loop and then a bunch of ifs, but importantly, we need to make sure that we chain them in the correct order in order to make sure that it does work. Now, one thing that I've already mentioned in the lecture introducing these beginner projects is how every single project has multiple possible solutions. There's never really just one. That is very much a programming thing. Any project, any problem you're trying to solve will always have multiple possible approaches, not just one. So if you manage to get all of the tests to pass, if so, then congrats, you did achieve this goal, even if you did it through a different approach than me. For example, this approach works, but let me write some different code just to showcase how we can solve the same thing in multiple ways. So let's just comment out this one like this. Okay, so for example, we could store all of this within some booleans. So bool divisible 3 equals I divisible by 3 equals 0. Then we can define another boolean for divisible by 5, doing by 5 like that. Then we could do an if divisible by 3 and divisible by 5. If so, then console.writeLine, let's write line FizzBuzz. And then instead of chaining a bunch of else ifs, instead of that, for example, we can just add them all one by one. So let's do divisible by 5 and 3, then just 3, then just 5. So by 3, print out fizz, this one print out buzz like that. And at the end, print out the console.writeLine, just printing out just the number itself. So yep, except like this, obviously it won't work because it's basically going to print this, then print this, then this, and this. So that will not lead to the correct number of prints. But here we are inside a for loop. So we can use one of the special keywords in order to basically skip ahead. So we can go up here and write the continue. Meaning that if this number is divisible by 3 and divisible by 5, if so, it's going to go inside this one. It's going to print this line, FizzBuzz. And then this continue will basically skip the rest of the code and just jump onto the next iterator. So if you do it like this, if it does go inside of here, then it will never run this code exactly as we want it. So if we add a continue on all of these like this, then yep, like this, everything should work exactly the same. So here we are, let's run FizzBuzz, and there you go, it's running, and yep, everything seems correct. Let's wait for the tests. So here come the tests, and correct, and yep, all of them are correct. So yep, again, just an example of how in order to solve pretty much any problem you have, in order to do that, you have multiple possible solutions. There's never really just one. So if you wrote some code kind of like this and it worked, then awesome, that's correct. But if you also wrote some code kind of like this and it also passed all the tests, then that is also very much correct. I really just want to reinforce that point. If you manage to achieve all the goals, if you manage to pass all tests, if so, then your solution is correct. It doesn't matter if you write something different from mine. If you achieve the challenge, if you build the project, then congratulations, you did indeed achieve the project. Alright, so congrats on completing this beginner project. Here you'll learn how to work with loops, ifs, and so on. In doing so, you also learn how to solve one very common interview problem. So if you ever go into a job interview and you find out this problem, then you will know exactly what to do. Alright, so congratulations! I hope you made an effort and actively built this project. And if you did, then in doing so, you have definitely solidified your nice C# foundation. Like I said, learning C# or really any language or really anything is all about experience. The more you apply what you're learning, the more you're actually truly learning. So if you actively built this project, then congratulations! You now have more knowledge than when you started. Check out the full premium version of the C# course in the link in the description if you want to continue learning more. In there, you can already find all of the 10 beginner projects to really test your skills. And of course, you can learn everything about C# from beginner to advanced with the quizzes, the FAQs, and the interactive exercise for every single lecture. And again, right now, just for a limited time, I've got all my course in a nice summer bundle. So if you want all my course in a nice deep discount, check it out in the link in the description. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.